to be placed in this situation. It could be 89 degrees and sunny with a high humidity, or it can be 25 degrees with a 30 below wind chill. It does not matter. You only get a certain amount of opportunities in this profession to go out and prove who you are and what you're about.
Let's go get this thing, dog. You get your opportunity. Don't make a play.
Regardless of whether,
winter weather, right? We get some significant snow.
we don't care. We'll go out and play.
This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? The platform is set, and the stage could not be bigger as the Kansas City Chiefs will face off against the New England Patriots Sunday, January 20th at 6:40 p.m. at Arrowhead Stadium. It comes down to this one game, Kansas City. It'll take us to the Super Bowl, something that has eluded this franchise for years and years and years. And we could not have a better shot at achieving this goal that the Hunt family has really set their entire lives on. And I think that we have the team to pull this off. Now, what it took for us to get there was to beat the Colts, and the Chiefs did pull that off 31-13. And it was a great, phenomenal game that really could not have worked out any better. Today I have a co-host for the first time, and I will let him introduce himself. I would say this is more of an analyst position because he is not a Chiefs fan. But with that being said, I will let my co-host introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. I am Caleb Nightenhauser, and like he said, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm a diehard Steelers fan, and I always have been. But I couldn't be more in on the Chiefs than any other Chiefs fan. I think this is their year. I'm all in with them, honestly.
And I couldn't agree more with you. I think everyone in Chiefs Kingdom can agree with that. And it's nice to hear a fan from another team have that kind of input. I know we always enjoy that. But this is one of those things that he's deeper into stats and things, into the NFL. He's not just a fan. I mean, he really analyzes the games. He analyzes the entire game, coaching aspect, the players' standpoint, fans. So it's going to be really nice to have his opinion on things today because, you know, we're not just talking about the Colts. We're talking about the Patriots, the AFC Championship, possibly moving on to the Super Bowl. So this is a really important broadcast. So I think today I want to let him, start off with some of the key factors in the game against the Colts that really just set us apart from Indianapolis.
Okay. Well, what stuck out to me is your secondary stepped up big that game. Yes. Andrew Luck did not look himself, and those receivers were not getting open. And like I said, not a Chiefs fan, so the secondary to me is very lackluster. But they stepped up big in that game, and I was surprised by it. Like, I did not see it coming. And it really helped that the defensive line pressured Andrew Luck the entire game against the best offensive line in the game, statistically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more with you, and especially since Luck he's a scrambling quarterback.
Oh,
He can roll out and he can create plays.
Very mobile.
Yeah, absolutely. Extremely mobile quarterback. So for the Chiefs to be able to contain that and keep him in check, I think that was a huge determining factor on the win.
Oh, yeah.
But look, he did some good things too. Luck looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have the biggest stats in the world, but in the same factor, I think that with what he did, I mean, he had a touchdown. He did more than Mahomes.
Yeah, 200 yards. I mean, it was a good game, but it just wasn't an Andrew Luck wow game.
Right, exactly. But I would say, I can't really say that about Mahomes, though. I mean, he almost had 300 yards. It was 278 yards.
He threw the ball 41 times and got 27 of them to go into a receiver's hands. That's a good game. He had a touchdown. Not going doesn't really help him out, but he didn't throw a pick either.
Right, absolutely. And you could obviously see that this was a run-dominant game,
Yes.
4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's something since Kareem Hunt left that was kind of evading the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them get back into the swing of things and have a rush-heavy game, especially in the playoffs.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure you would agree that against the Patriots, the Chiefs are going to have to be able to run the ball as well as pass.
Yeah. It's going to have to be an all-around offensive firepower game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially, week 6, I think it was that
week 6.
That the Patriots beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Beat them by 3 points, I believe. But, yeah, that was an offensive shootout, too.
Yes.
So let's get into some more of the stats of the game. I'll let you do the Colts side of the stats here.
Okay. Well, like we've already talked about, Andrew Luck had 1 touchdown, 200 yards. Not a bad game. I mean, he had 19 completions, but he threw 36 passes. So, like we said, an Andrew Luck good game. That's a good game for a playoff, but it's not against the Chiefs. You have to outscore them. The running backs, you didn't expect what they did. Like, they did not do anything. Marlon Mack had 46 yards on 9 carries.
Right.
That's not enough to beat the Chiefs.
No, absolutely not.
Their rookie, Nick Hines, he got the ball 3 times and had 24 yards. Why didn't they give him the ball more often?
Right, absolutely. That's a really good point.
8 yards per carry. Did they just not trust him, or was he not feeling it, or was the Chiefs' defense just scaring Marlon Mack that much that they didn't want to run the ball?
I wonder if it was one of those things that they're sticking to the system and the scheme they had planned for the game, and no matter what was happening, I guess it seemed like the Colts didn't have an answer for anything the Chiefs were doing offensively or defensively.
Defensively, they just got picked apart, and you didn't expect that either.
No, not at all. I didn't expect us to contain T.Y. Hilton like we did.
Yeah, 4 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, which is a good game, but it's not the game that the number 1 receiver on a team needs to have in a playoff game.
Right, absolutely. Unless you're having a run-heavy game, which obviously that didn't happen for the Colts either. The highlight for me for the Colts was, and the low light was special teams.
Special teams, yep. The highlight and the low light, like you said. Defensively, special teams stepped up big. They got the first points of the game for the Colts.
Yeah.
Blocked the punt and then recovered it in the end zone.
Absolutely, yeah, and that kind of if that was going to be a pace setter for the game at all, you would think that would have changed things up. But with Patrick Mahomes and the mindset he has, it doesn't matter what happened the play before. The next play, he's going to come out and act like this is the only drive that is going to happen in the game.
And not only that, he didn't make a mistake either.
Right,
so it
absolutely.
couldn't have been in his head anyway.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
But, like you said, the low light for the Colts, Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, I mean, you expect Captain Clutch to come through, especially in a playoff game when he has in so many playoff games before in Super Bowls with the Patriots and the Colts.
Yes.
Gosh, how many years has he been in the league now?
I think longer than I've been alive.
about 25 years. I mean, and it really seems like that. So, yeah, that was really the low light to the game for the Colts. But we'll talk about the Chiefs' stats here. Patrick Mahomes was 27 for 41 with 278 yards. And like Caleb was saying, he didn't have any touchdowns or any interceptions. But when we move on to rushing, Damian Williams, look at that, 25 carries for 129 yards, a touchdown, 5.2 yards per carry. I mean, that's a great day. That's a Kareem Hunt day.
Yeah, 5.2 yards on 25 carries. That's not seen very much anymore. I mean, especially by somebody you don't really hear the name of. As a non-Chiefs fan, I didn't really know who this player was going into it. I knew he was supposed to start, but that's really all the knowledge I had of him.
So what would you say the Colts rush defense is like? Is it
I thought they were going to be legit. I thought you were going to have to outthrow them, but you guys just found a way to run past them. 4 players had a rushing touchdown that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tyreek Hill, the 36-yard rushing touchdown that he had, I mean, that was amazing. And he just cut through the defense. He was just kind of weaving in and out and found his way into the end zone. Darrell Williams had the 3-yard touchdown run or whatever that was.
A lot of people. That offensive line went up and pushed him. That was good teamwork right there.
Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes had his rushing touchdown. So, I mean, there was a lot of good things to take away from this game. And even receiving, Travis Kelce, 7 receptions for 108 yards.
And he may not have had a touchdown, but he had a good game.
Absolutely. Tyreek Hill, 8 yards for 72 yards. Sammy Watkins, I like seeing him get back in the mix.
Yes.
6 receptions for 62 yards. And there was one reception that was almost like a 38-yard reception to start the game.
Yeah.
So it was nice for him to get back out there immediately and make an impact.
He was the one who caught that one-handed pass when he was falling down, right?
Yeah.
That was watching. That was an amazing catch.
Absolutely. So defensively, D Ford got himself a sack. Was D Ford? Did he have the strip sack?
I'm pretty sure he had the strip sack.
Justin Houston had 2 sacks. Anthony Hitchens, he's quietly had racked up a lot of tackles this season. He hasn't been talked about a lot because he hasn't been the player to get sacks and interceptions and such. But as far as tackling, Anthony Hitchens has made a really big impact, and so has Reggie Ragland. We don't really talk about them as much. Daniel Sorensen, it's really nice to see him get out there and do the things that he's doing. And that's just our depth coming in. Coming in strong. We started strong. We finished strong.
Yeah.
In a snow game.
All around, yeah.
It snowed from start to finish. The field conditions were bad. And what was Mahomes said? He felt like he could still, get a tight spiral on the ball.
Yeah. He said every now and then when he got hit, it felt a little cold. It stung a little bit, but hey, he got used to it fast, is what he said. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'll say this, Arrowhead was rocking. You fans, including myself, we were out there rocking it out. It was loud the entire game. In the interview with Andy Reid, Big Red said that we absolutely, changed the perspective of the game, and we're loud from start to finish. And I know we'll continue that in the AFC Championship game, which I will be present there for another week. I'm happy to get back down there again for this game, which is inevitably, and I think, and Chiefs Kingdom, some redemption coming against the New England Patriots.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that you need this redemption, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen.
I think we absolutely have everything that it takes, and being a Chiefs fan and in Chiefs Kingdom, we're in a scenario that in every game we're not nervous about the opponent.
No reason to be.
No.
You're the 1 seed for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Belichick is acknowledging, the talent that we have on the team and what he has to, ahead.
Yeah, he said that they had a tremendous game the first time they played this season, and that was a long time ago, and it was week 6, and now it's past it's in the playoffs. It's the championship game for the AFC, and he said we are where we are now, and they are where they are now, and you guys are without Kareem Hunt, which is a big part.
Yeah, but look though, that's why Damian Williams doing his thing last week. I mean, that was a huge thing, and you bringing that up, that's a huge emphasis and a key to this game is we got to have the running game. And and I said it on my broadcast last week that if we could have Damian Williams have a huge impact in the playoffs and really step up, that we could make a great run. And so far, that first game against the Colts, he really showed us something.
He ran the ball 25 times, and he got in the end zone once and had 129 yards. Like, that's a good game.
Absolutely.
That was his first playoff game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
spectacular. The scene couldn't be bigger for no fumbles, no blemishes. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm loving it. This is really good for the Kansas City Chiefs, and we really need to take this momentum back to Arrowhead next week.
You're staying home. I think that's a big part.
Yeah. It's huge. Arrowhead is probably the biggest home field advantage in possibly all of sports. I don't know, there's some college places that really rockin' too, but Arrowhead is just one of those places that's legendary. There's an aura there, and it just makes you, I don't know, Arrowhead,
You can hear it watching the games on TV. Like, you just hear how loud they are.
Oh, yeah. Chiefs Kingdom, you know what I'm talking about. There's just a certain feeling you get at Arrowhead. And it's going to be a great game this Sunday. This is the AFC Championship. We have Tom Brady, Belichick, and the Patriots. We could take the throne from them, have the torch passed on to the Chiefs and Mahomes. We have all the weapons to do it. And I mean, this one game, Kansas City's in the Super Bowl.
That's all they need to get, and then they're in it.
And that's a crazy thing to think about. And this is the first AFC Championship game that's ever been hosted at Arrowhead Stadium. And that's a huge deal to Kansas City. And look, that stadium will never be as loud as it's going to be this Sunday. It is just, the Chiefs, we haven't won a Lamar Hunt trophy.
Which is the Chiefs' old owner. The Lamar Hunt trophy is the AFC Championship trophy. And if they win it at Arrowhead the very first time.
Yeah.
this has to be their game. Like, the story's written out for them.
Dude, absolutely. I love it. And it's destiny. And that's crazy to see that note being taken down. The Chiefs have never won a Lamar Hunt trophy. I mean, Kansas City, we have founded this trophy. We need one of these in our trophy case.
Owner,
yes.
And you don't have one.
Yes, man, valid point. See, that should be motivation right there, Kansas City, and I feel like that's how I want to wrap up this broadcast because that is such a valid point. Let's bring the Lamar Hunt trophy, the trophy that was founded by our owner, back to Kansas City, and let's go to the Super Bowl, and let's get ourselves a Lombardi trophy and bring that to Kansas City, too. Look, it's been an honor, Caleb. I'm glad to have you on the podcast, man. It was awesome. I'd like to have you on here again.
Oh, yeah. Love to be here.
Awesome. The perspective from another fan of another team is always essential, and it's just analyzing. And I like the way you think when it comes to football. You have a brilliant football mind, and you bring a lot to the broadcast. So I appreciate you being here today, man. That was awesome. I will make another broadcast before this game on Sunday, which I will be attending. Let's get out there, like I always say. Let's rock it out. This is Arrowhead Stadium. This is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New England Patriots for an AFC Championship game to finally get over that hump and go to the Super Bowl. We have it in us. I know we can do it. This is Redemption Week, Kansas City. Let's get this done, and let's go to the playoffs. Or let's go to the Super Bowl. Hey, I don't know if this could be a bigger show or platform for the Kansas City Chiefs, but we better show up. I think that with the talent that we have, it's no secret that we're just going to take it to another level. So you all have a great week. Let's get ready for this game. And, hey, let's go to the Super Bowl. I've been talking about this since episode 1. Since I started this broadcast, the Kansas City was going to make it to the Super Bowl. If you want to, you should scroll back through the broadcast and go listen to my Super Bowl episode back in August. I predicted this. Let's do this, Kansas City. Let's rock it out, and let's get to the Super Bowl. This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.